Well, that's not what that means.
I think we're good. I think we're live now.
Whoa!
All right, let me try that again. Welcome back, everyone, to Bingothon Summer 2025. I hope you enjoyed that ad. We're all losing it. In fact, I'm losing it so much. This is the end of my hostship. But before I sign off and hand things over to Flohuff for their hosting, I do want to introduce the next run, which is Blueprints, being ran by CJ. So CJ, take it away, and Floha, take my hosting duties away.
All right. Yes. We got blueprints in here by CJ.
Yeah.
It's working now.
Are we
Hello?
good?
Test.
Knock.
Can you hear us? Type 1 in chat if you can hear us, and type 2 in chat if there is an echo.
I can tell you guys.
I don't think anyone is hearing us. Audio is back with echo. Huh? Is there an echo on your stream, CJ?
There shouldn't be. I don't know why there would be. Try talking, Flo.
Hello? Test. 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
I understand why. It's literally echoing through my mic. Why is my noise canceling not working? All right, let's try that again.
Hello!
Nope.
Welcome back.
Shoutouts to Windows changing all of my audio settings and ruining my finely crafted streaming setup. All right, let's try again.
Hello!
Nope, you're still getting picked up by my mic. What? All right, hang on. What are you sourcing from? Maybe it'll be better now?
Alright. Hello.
Nope.
No.
I swear to God, what the hell, Discord? It's almost like Discord is just straight up routing my audio out through my mic. Okay, you know what? You know what's probably going to be easier than me fighting with this? I am just going to...
Use headphones?
No, I'm just going to switch to audio app audio capture and change to capturing Discord via the stream PC. If this works, maybe? Alright, Alright, is there an echo now? Can we hear now? Is there an echo now? Can we hear now?
Hello? Test. Testing 1, 2, 3. No,
can you guys hear everyone? Is there an echo?
Now I can hear myself through your mic in Discord. That's amazing.
Oh. Okay, so that's part of the problem too. So that's part of the problem too. It got worse. It got worse.
Great. Welcome to Bingothon.
Throw it to intermission.
This is a professional operation, everyone. I'm just gonna. I don't know, because I'm not gonna be able to hear.
I think the segment is that whatever you just did, you made it worse.
Okay. We'll get rid of that and put that back on, and then do this.
Wait. It sounds great now? What?
Okay.
Okay, whatever you did, leave it. Don't touch anything.
I switched it back to the way it was. That was broken the first.
You're forbidden from touching any audio settings now, CJ.
Okay. Are we okay now? Can we chat about what Blueprints is before we start?
Is everything all right?
All right. We'll talk about what Blueprint. I'll get the run started, and then we'll talk about what Blueprints is. All right. So we'll get started in 5, 4. Tiniest echo. Okay. I will play with one thing.
No, leave it.
I was just gonna up the. Okay, leave it. Good enough. Okay, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey.
Right. So it's gonna take like 30 seconds for us to get into the game, because this loading screen is long and the cutscene takes forever to skip, and then there's an unskippable cutscene afterwards. But so Blueprints is a relatively recent game. It is a puzzle adventure game that is masquerading as a roguelite game. So take from that what you will. So we play on the roguelite loop of, we repeat the same game loop every day, essentially. The unit of time in this game instead of a run is a day. So I'm gonna run in here, grab the blueprint to start the game, and then I'm gonna immediately turn around and go do a secret unlock that I can do from the start of the game because I know all the secrets to this game. So like I said, this is a puzzle adventure game masquerading as a roguelite, so we're gonna go through kind of the roguelite elements and unlock stuff. We're gonna unlock permanent upgrades. We're gonna find resources to help us through each run, each day. Yeah, and that's pretty much the game loop. Normally when you're playing casually, you would also be, discovering secrets and the keys to unlocking all those things. Yes. Also, very important note, this is going to be extremely spoiler heavy. Even just looking at the board can be a little spoilery here. So, take from that what you will. There are an immense amount of different things in this game. So our daily resources include keys, which will allow us to unlock doors, coins, which allow us to purchase items, dice, which allow us to re-roll our draws for rooms, because the main mechanic of this game is that we are building out this manor as the day progresses. Also, I did just get a goal right off the bat. I unlocked the apple orchard. The first thing that the apple orchard does is it gives us the ability to, or it means that on subsequent days we start with an extra 20 steps. Steps are our primary, in bingo, are pretty much the primary limiting factor of the length of your runs. When you play casually, you do eventually end up in a place where steps really don't matter. Steps are in the top left corner of the screen. We start with 50. Starting tomorrow, we'll start with 70 steps because the orchard gives us the 20 extra. So I've kind of breezed through some stuff, so we'll take a look here. We are drafting rooms. We get 3 choices of each room at each door that we open to fill in the manor. The different colors mean different things. There's different effects of each room. And in the actual game, the goal is to reach the antechamber and then room 46, one room beyond the antechamber. We are largely going to kind of ignore that goal for the purposes of bingo because I don't see it on the card anywhere. But along the way, we're going to pick up resources. We're going to play mini games and solve little puzzles. So the first thing we're going to do here is solve a puzzle here in the parlor, which is basically a true-false game. The blue box is empty. The blue box is true. This is the blue box. True, true. The blue box is not empty, therefore. The rules of this game are simple. There is at least one box that is completely true and one that is completely false. The rest is in the air. So the blue box, obviously, is the blue box. Therefore, this statement is true. The white box says the blue box is true. And the blue box is... Therefore, the blue box is not empty because the statement must be false. Behind this, you'll see a pawn. You'll see that there are 2 goals on the board referencing pawns and also a goal referencing chess powers. That's going to be important. We have not drafted anything else that has a pawn. We are at 1 out of 8 unique rooms containing a pawn. There are 10 total rooms that contain pawns, and they are kind of the really common rooms because pawns are really common in the game, or in chess, realistically. Kind of going over the board because there's going to be a lot of things on the board. Goals in this game are a mix of... Also another pawn, there's 2. A mix of goals that are permanent upgrades, temporary upgrades, daily objectives, so on and so forth. We're going to solve our first kind of big quote-unquote puzzle here. We're going to pull on this lever and then put in a code into this safe, which is going to be our first gem from a safe. This one is 0415. Well, 0415. Which is our first of 5 gems. The special power in this room is it allows us to redraw our drafts once per draft, which is what this button does, which means we'll get 3 new rooms if we don't like our options here. Which I will redraw and get 3 new ones. Typically, you can only draft each room in the game once per day. There are numerous effects that kind of change that and can duplicate them. There is not a goal on the board pertaining to that I have seen. Bedroom contains a pawn, so I'm thinking about drafting that. Kitchen... I am going to draft bedroom. So I'm going to play for some goals kind of aggressively here. This is a trunk.
Third room?
Yes, this is the 3rd room with a pawn overall. The expected value of locked trunks is always greater than 1 key. You might not actually hit the expected value, unfortunately, but the expected value is greater. I am not going to... Oh, the den is our 4th room with a pawn, so we have achieved that goal. I did kind of have a choice there. You saw me kind of briefly waffling over whether to draft den or the breaker box. The breaker box also nets us a goal right away. So I was kind of waffling over whether I wanted to just go for that or not. But I decided that I would rather not end the day already. Okay. So a little bit more about the mechanics in this game. So blue rooms, the ones covered in a blue outline, are the normal kind of rooms, the bread and butter. There's all kinds of them. And then the other colors are kind of rooms that are themed. Purple rooms are bedrooms, which generally deal with gaining steps. The nursery, for example, means anytime you draft a bedroom, you gain 5 steps. Red rooms are rooms that have a negative effect. The negative effect of the lavatory is that it despawns all items that are in it when it's drafted. Normally it would have 3 items in it if you could negate its effect somehow. But I am going to actually take the music room here. The music room will contain a major key and a minor key. We do have a goal to draft to obtain 2 major keys in a single day, which is the main reason I'm going for it. The major key that we just got there is the secret garden key, which is a very important key if you're trying to get into the antechamber, because the secret garden does in fact contain a lever for the antechamber. So we also just obtained our first dice. These are reroll machines. These allow us to reroll at any time. Is in on this card? No. Alright, so back to talking kind of about goals, because I've kind of diverged from that. So there's a mix of goals that are like permanent upgrades, one-offs, day achievements on a given day. I am going to use one of them here. Brilliant. I will take utility closet. So I'm going to solve a puzzle here. I may actually have to refer to my notes for the final solution of this puzzle. I totally just botched this. Hang on.
Oh, dang it, CJ.
This white, red, purple. I think I have it wrong. It is. This game is all about like learning and taking notes, and I have forgotten what the solution to this is slightly. This is supposed to be good. There we go.
You have forgotten to take the notes.
No, I have the notes. I had to go refer to my notes.
Ah, so you have forgotten to learn.
Yes, evidently. So we have just unlocked another permanent upgrade, which is the Gemstone Caverns, which I thought was on the board, but it is not. So doesn't actually do anything. But this means that we will start every day with 2 gems, which is extremely valuable. Because gems can be extremely limiting in the early game. Oh, I forgot to turn on the garage. Power to the garage. Turn off the gym and turn on the garage. So, ideally, the room I want here is the garage. Brilliant. I will gladly end a day to take garage. And just lock in that I have all 3 of the main permanent upgrades on day 1. Interestingly, if I had played this run a little differently, this could have potentially turned into a day 1 speedrun. I had all the kind of setups for reaching room 46 on day 1 here. I need to unlock that before I forget. So this is our 3rd and probably the final permanent upgrade we're going to get for a little while, which is the Westgate Path, which gives us access to the outside room of the manor at the beginning, or whenever we want, realistically, every day, which is a set of 8 additional rooms that have special effects. Do I want any of these? Not really. I want Trading Post. Excellent. Okay, so this is a puzzle box. This is a what we call a Morajai box. The way that these work is you want to put the colors in the corners. They all have special rules. The yellow squares move up 1 when you click them, or switch spots with the tile above them, and the pink ones rotate around them. We are done with today, correct? Yes, we are. Alright, so we also just got an allowance token, which increases our allowance by 2. Your allowance is the amount of coins that you start the day with, so we'll get a little package at the start of the day that will give us 2 coins to start off with. Your first couple allowance upgrades really don't do much. So, it's mostly just for the goal. I am scouting a couple of other things here. Yeah. So the other Westgate Path is a goal. We did not manage to get 2 major keys yesterday. As someone in chat just said, yes, Cloister will probably be my second allowance token. That's going to take a little bit of manipulation, most likely, but we'll get there in the end.
Have you thought about the lines you want for yet?
So, I have, and the answer is I don't know yet. Because this is a very RNG-dependent game, you kind of have to be prepared. You kind of have to know the board and kind of the sort of mini synergies on the board, especially since this is going to be triple bingo. Thank you for everyone who donated for that incentive, by the way. and kind of roll with the punches as they come. There are a lot of goals that you can kind of force, for lack of a better term. We use the term force very lightly in this game when we talk about bingo, because even through your best efforts, you cannot guarantee the results of, like, any specific result in this game. But you can, like, do everything in your power to sort of manipulate it and try to get positive effects. But the point is that you kind of need to be ready to roll with the punches and adapt to what the game is willing to give you. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you can play aggressively for specific goals in some cases, especially when you get down to, like, needing exactly one more goal. But so Secret Passage here is actually extremely good because I get to choose what color of room I want to go to. However, so this is an example of forcing things. So I'm going to actually not use the Secret Passage right away because I actually want to get one more gem before I go there. I'm going to draft I have shelters, so the lavatory will have items. Brilliant. It just gave me 2 major keys. So that's a security key card, which means I'll have access to security doors without any extra effort. And it gave me a vault key that we're probably not going to use. I don't remember if that's the vault key that actually gives you anything important for bingo, but yeah. So
that's another goal as well.
Yep. What I'm going for here is I want to draft the Cloister, which is a 4-door green room that costs 3 gems and can only be drafted on the interior of the manor. So, what I'm going to... So, I just got my 3rd gem, so I'm going to come back to the Secret Passage now and pull the green book to get a green door. Which should give us Cloister, yep, and we will do that because that's going to give us yet another goal. Unfortunately, this game does pretty rapidly slow down if you get unlucky. So that is 2 allowance tokens, and we did... What was the other?
2 major keys in a single day.
There it is.
Bottom
Yeah.
row.
I could not find it on the board. So now we're starting to think about what looks good at this point. So, you know, when you look at this board, you'll think, okay, row or column 3, column 4 looks good, row 5 looks good, potentially. The big sticking point in row 3 is going to be activate any alternate antechamber lever. So there are 4, technically, main antechambered levers in the game. But there is also a set of alternate levers, 1 for each door in the antechamber, of which there are 4. I will take Parlor here because I want the gems. So the problem with that is that one of them is in a room that we need to find and add to our pool, and then get lucky enough to actually draft. This is false. This is false, therefore they are the blue box. Or we need an item that is particularly challenging to get because we need to get 3 specific items and then craft the item, which means we need to get very much smiled upon by RNG. Yeah. Need Power Hammer for 3 of them, not 4. Or not 2. I will take East Wing Hall here. So the other goal in row 3 that's kind of is filling the directory's hallway section. The directory is this little section that gives you information on all the rooms, although we are making really, really strong progress on this at this point. We do pretty much need to find Secret Passage a second time in order to execute that goal, but I am also looking to draft 6 red rooms today, potentially. That goal can be kind of challenging and a little daunting sometimes, but we will get there. Okay, dark room is going to be our 3rd sheltered red room from the... Oh, I didn't talk about the shelter when I drafted it. So the shelter is a room that protects you from the negative effect of the first 3 red rooms you draft. So it will protect us from all 3 of the red rooms that we have drafted so far. Wow, no, 2 days in a row with no items in the guest bedroom. That's depressing. We're gonna get a short cutscene here that we're gonna skip because for some reason this room has a cutscene. This is the security room, which is a great room. We have a key card today, so I am going to turn up the security level, which will mean that there are more security doors in the game. And I want them to stay unlocked. It doesn't... Actually, I lied. I want to make them unlocked because there's a bypass goal. I hate the UI for the terminals in this game. It drives me absolutely bananas. It is super tedious to work with, but it is what it is. Red, so this is not going to get sheltered, I don't believe. Which is good, because we want to draft more red rooms, even though they have negative effects. So normally the dark room, the lights would go off when you enter, because it's the dark room, the fuse blows. And we can turn them back on using the fuse box, or you could just draft from here and not know what you're drafting. Alright, we are at 4 red rooms, so I am going to take the gymnasium here. And here's our first security door. We have a key card, so we get to use it. Holy shit. Don't tell me the game is gonna throw Power Hammer at me. Holy sh... Okay, this RNG has said, have fun. So this is the single hardest item in the game to craft, or one of the 2 hardest items to craft in the game, and also the most useful, especially in bingo. So, I don't really know what to say about that besides what the hell just happened. I have not successfully crafted the Power Hammer in a single bingo practice run up to this point, which is about 15 runs. Do I use... I use aquarium here. I need to be very deliberate about my step usage right now, because I do want to get back outside later. God, please. Of course, they're all going to be locked. The game is trolling me now.
So, if I count correctly, that is 6 red rooms, right?
It is, in fact, 6 red rooms. I have been trolled so hard, I cannot use the Power Hammer to get an alternate lever, because the game is rude.
Game was like, here, have to single most
Oh wait, did I
item,
check
but,
the northern door and workshop?
But don't be able to do anything with it.
They're all locked. Every single door I could go through is locked.
Oof.
Alright, so now, so there's a lot of problems here. Now, I wanted to get the weight room, which is a 4-door red room that, takes away half your steps when you draft it, but I will be utilizing the Power Hammer in another way right now. Yes, Aquarium does count as red. I just haven't gone out to click it yet because I am focused on making sure I actually leverage the Power Hammer today before I have to surrender it at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm going to come down here and open one of the secret passages into the basement using the Power Hammer. Do I have any reason to go into it? Is there any way that I could get another key? I don't have a shovel. I don't need to go into basement right now. That is a permanent change. It doesn't present itself as a permanent upgrade, so... Where is that goal? 6 right. Yeah, I could go get Mechanarium right now, but I would rather... Actually, yeah, no, I should go get it right now. I'm gonna go get our first found floor plan, as they're called, which are additions to... Oh, I have to clear open this side of the door. Good thing I did not forget to do that. I forgot that there's a 2-part door here. So welcome to the basement. We are going to solve a little puzzle here. There is a glitched way that you can solve this puzzle that I don't know the details of, so we will not be doing the glitched method. We're just gonna be solving this puzzle as intended. Yeah, this puzzle is pretty slow, but if there are any donations or any plugs or anything, now is a great time to do it.
Well, what I can say is that after we have closed the Bitwolf for the Amnesia run, we have opened a new incentive, which is for Deep Rock Galactic, which I believe is sometime tomorrow morning. Someone correct me on that. Yeah, it's the difficulty increase. For $75, we'll have Valhunt, you know, increase the difficulty a little bit and make his life a little bit harder. But yeah, if that is something that you want to see, keep on donating. Also, I would like to say again, thank you very much everyone for donating so far. Because of that, I will have to use a controller in my run later on. Note to say, I've never really used a controller in that game. Because Genshin, you just play with keyboard and mouse. Even though I'm normally a controller player, that game, you play with keyboard and mouse. So that's gonna be fun. Anyway, how are we looking?
We are almost done with the puzzle. So this is like one of the... So this is the basement. There are 2 ways to get into the basement. There is the secret way that I just did using the power hammer. Alternatively, there is... I need to move it slightly. You can get in here through the foundation, which is a pretty rare room and also a permanent room. So it stays where, like, you draft it and it stays there forever. It does not reset each day like the rest of the mansion does. So this is a pretty tough place to get, especially in Bingo. And it's going to... I push this button, which is going to open this passageway down into the underground. Which... Hello, there we go. We're not going to do all that much there right now. We're just going to go solve another little puzzle. Unfortunately, we can't get to the super secret area. Not that we really want to. We don't have any need for the north... Oh, I can't get it this way. Whoopsies. For the north antechamber lever that is beyond that. Although, if I do manage to... So there's a couple of really important things that having this pathway open does, though. One of the most important things that this does is that it sets up the ability... I'm just doing this so that I can move about a little more later. It sets up the ability for me to go back down to the underground later in the reservoir, which unfortunately doesn't actually do all that much because we don't have any more allowance token goals. There is a way down here with some other luck that we could get 3 allowance tokens at once. Unfortunately, we have no use for that. The other unfortunate thing is that there is an upgrade disc, which is in row 1, column 3, or row 3, column 1. On the board to use, but we do not have the ability to get to it because we cannot go backwards through the... There's another way to access the underground and access this other than this section, other than the basement, which is through the tomb or the fountain, both of which require some finagling. I believe we are done now, though. I hate to say goodbye to a power hammer, but... I'm just scouting the board and my thing today to see and make sure that there's not anything else to do. Oh, actually, there is one more quick goal that we could do today while we have a sledgehammer. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but I think it's worth it to just do it real quick right now. We can use the sledgehammer to smash a vase in the entry hall to obtain a microchip. Why there's a microchip in this manner in, like, the 80s, I don't know. Myst vibes, indeed. This game draws some very, very heavy inspiration from Myst and Myst-style games. And a microchip is complete. And now we will call it a day. I need to check... Yeah, this mansion has all kinds of technology. I own this house. Sort of.
Sort of.
Technically, I do not own it yet. You have to reach room 46, technically, to legally inherit the house. But it is, like, bequeathed to you in your uncle's will. Because this game has story. And the main story of this game, I'm not going to spoil, like, the endgame story or any details in case people still want to play this game after watching this or haven't reached it yet. But this game gives way to a story of, like, political intrigue and, like, all kinds of crazy stuff later.
Oh, boy.
So, this game is absolutely worth playing if you have any interest in the roguelite genre and the puzzle genre, or even if you like one or the... If you are into the puzzle genre but not necessarily the roguelite genre, you might still like this game, but it's ideal if you like both. We're going to take Toolshed today. Brilliant. Watering can. That is progress towards a goal. It's not like real world politics. This game takes place in a fictional everything. So, don't worry about the politics. Oh, yeah. So the metal detector will cause random items to spawn on the floor in a couple places throughout the game. And on the white or the blue box are... That is false. That is false. Therefore, they're black box. So I'm now eyeing row 5 to start us off here. Architect's house is kind of funky because we have to draft 4 rooms that have the like little drafting symbol.
That's column 5, though.
That's like row 5. I meant column 5. I am specifically at the moment not eyeing row 5 because I hate the get 30 steps from the dining room goal. Also, according to notes in my resources, there's a pawn in this room. Yep, okay, so we are at 5 unique rooms containing pawns. I'm gonna redraw here. I want observatory, but I'm gonna take closet for safety. Yes, rotate. I'm not particularly concerned about rotating a room. Oh, Secret Passage has a chess piece according to the resource that I'm looking at. I want to draft Secret Passage again, so I will probably wait until we do that to double check that. The keys are on my
Is it a condo?
Oh, there's also a key on the floor here. Like I said, expected value of a trunk is greater than 3 keys. Evidence. I should have taken courtyard, technically, because I need... So to empty the watering can, I need to draft 3 different green rooms today. Because the watering can's effect is that when you enter a green room for the first time, or like that specific green room for the first time, you can use 1 charge of the watering can to gain a gem. I believe that you can actually refill it too. Also, shoutouts to another one of these. So there's a pawn in here. There it is. I'm going to use this on an orange. So we are at 6 rooms containing pawns. So we're looking... Oh, guest bedroom also has one. I will double check that. And bunk room. Oh, and dining room. So I think we probably actually have this goal. That goal. I want foyer here. Foyer is kind of one of the sticking points of the hallways directory goal. We are now missing... What are we missing? Great Hall and... Hallway, West Wing, East Wing, Corridor... What? I'm missing one and I'm totally blanking on what it is. So the power here of this room is really strong. It means that all doors leading away from leading out of a hallway are now permanently unlocked for today. Is tunnel a normal? No, tunnel's a found floor plan. Isn't it? Yeah, tunnel's added. I'm gonna take bedroom here. Just because this room does not cost steps effectively because it gives you 2. I don't want chamber. Do I want Chamber of Mirrors? Chamber of Mirrors. Chamber of Mirrors is a drafting room, so we could potentially get Architect's House here, but we are kind of locked out of the right side right now. So I'm a little nervous about that. I'm gonna take it. I will come in here and do in here. I'm willing to take a chance on that. A bingo race of this game is definitely raceable. Or bingo in this game is definitely raceable. We will take observant. We have 1 star. I don't really care enough to... Oh, actually, I don't care enough to solve the puzzle, but I do care enough to obtain another floor plan from here. There's a floor plan hidden in the telescope here, which I believe the only hint to it in the game is in the game's inbuilt hint system that, where there's an experiment in a room called the laboratory that every time you trigger it delivers a letter to another room called the mail room. It'll make sense delivering a letter to the mail room. And the mail room, and the letter details that there's a floor plan in there. There might also be a hint for that, elsewhere, now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm not actually sure. There's a second copy of Security floating around. I'm gonna take bedroom. Some people have been talking about whether or not lockout of this game would be raceable, and there's some very fair people, people are very fairly apprehensive of it. Just because you could just fail a lockout goal because of RNG. And that does not necessarily feel great. Take West Wing Hall. I'm going to... I don't love that this is using all of my... That used all my gems, but we do get a quick rebate. Yeah, getting locked out of a goal that you're actively going for in this seems very unfun. Or seems like it has the potential to go very unfun. Right, so we are 2 out of 3 on the watering can usages. A key from the shovel here is great. Sledgehammer lets us open trunks for free, which is great. 12 coins is actually one of the worst values that you can get out of a locked trunk. I will use a key. I'm going to take the closet. I don't feel like dealing with another parlor puzzle right now. A fun thing about the puzzles in this game, like the room-based puzzles, they actually get harder the more times you complete them. It's not necessarily based on how many days you've been playing the game. It is based strictly on how many times you have completed them, and each time you fail them, it actually lowers the difficulty of the puzzle slightly.
Wasn't passageway one of the 2 last things you were missing for the directory's hallway? Or did you already get that earlier?
This is one of them, yes. I totally just drafted it without thinking about it. So there is a pawn. There are pawns in here. This is a fun room because this room counts as 2 of everything, but it does not count as 2 unique rooms for pawns, obviously, because that would be kind of busted. So that is 7 out of 8 rooms for pawns. And if we draft a guest bedroom and confirm that there is a pawn in there, we will be done with that goal as well. I am also still trying to come around to the Chamber of Mirrors. I'll take another passageway for 2 gems. Right now, a kind of sick draft would be the boiler room. I really thought it was going to be boiler room, and I was going to look like a psychic and get accused of rigging this seed. But not quite. If we get enough mobility here... What is dinging? Is there something in this room? I think it might... The spawn locations for these are fixed, but you don't see a lot of them very often, so it's kind of a crapshoot. We do have no gems now, which is a kind of risky position to be put in, but we do also have, like, the entire southern portion of the mansion still, because we have not gone there. I am going to lower the security level here, because we do not have a key card, and we have not found a fuse box yet to turn off the security doors. But I will set it to unlocked just in case we do come across it. We've gotten a second gem from there. We have a special key. Okay. So I'm going to show off another instance of trying to force a goal. So the silver key here forces a room with many doors. Actually, hang on. There are 2 ways that I can go about this. Do I have a reason to force anything other than... No, I really don't. I'm going to think for a minute. How am I on time right now?
42 minutes then.
Office, and I don't have the gems for it. Office would be very helpful right now because it has an upgrade disc. It's one of the chief reasons that I was considering it before. Oh, walk-in closet. I don't have a gem. I don't have a gem for the pool. I'm gonna use the thing here. Guest bedroom, perfect. That works. I cannot believe that we have not seen another drafting room. Oh, a security key card. I will temporarily backtrack a room into...
You didn't check now if the guest bedroom actually has a...
Oh, you're right, I didn't. All right, we'll spend 2 more steps and go back there. It feels so weird drafting and not going for. There it is. I see it without having to enter the room. So we are done with that goal. I will click it in a second. I'm torn because I don't actually know here. I'm gonna use the regular key. Mostly because we don't know what we would be drafting if we took it. Of course. We do have a shovel, so we can get it from here. So we are kind of locked out of doing much in there. I really need to draft 1 more green room, so I desperately need to just, work my way back through the manor here. Back down into the south. It's always Furnace. It really is. So Furnace is a not-so-fun room. It increases the chance... It is a rare red room, who does not have multiple doors, which is kind of the big upside to red rooms, usually. Is that they have a lot of doors and have no cost. So it is a rare room, and also it increases the chances of you drafting more red rooms, which is not necessarily bad. It's not like the effects of negative red rooms really stack. Like, the negative effects don't really stack because they just straight up don't. There's a couple that you would think maybe they stack, but they just don't. So it's not a huge deal, but spare room here. Oh, before we end today, I want to use the shovel and dig up our 3rd room. I just realized our 3rd, This was a risky decision, taking storeroom here over Mage Shovel. Over Mage Chamber. Mage Chamber's downside is that it prevents or decreases the chance. I don't know if it actively prevents it, but lowers the chances of finding items in the house, like laying around, if they're not like random spawning items, which is not great, not particularly great. We will. So, I should have taken. That was stupid. I should have taken aquarium. That was a mistake. I just realized. If I get punished for that, I'm going to be very upset. Okay, never punished. Watering can is now empty. A gem and a key. That's kind of wild. We might be on pace to get House of the Dead here. I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3... 5... 6, 7, 8... Another bunk room would go very, very well here. So I'm going to kind of play for that, because I think another bunk room here will give us House of the Dead as a goal. We will take Aquarium here because it gives us some more opportunities. I am willing to not go get Conservatory, which is another found floor plan here. Greenhouse is a dead end. I'll take it. I'll just take another random dead end. I am going to come in here. Of course, it was not worth it. Of course, they give me no item in here. I actually might have all the items that can spawn in here, so that might have been a mistake. Bunk room. Alright, parlor it is. I will play the parlor game just so that we have the gems if necessary. Only one of the other boxes is false. The gems are in the... This can't be true. Therefore, the gems are not. These both have to be true or false. This is false. The gems are. Look, I don't question the game's logic because most of the time it benefits me. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What's up? Did you have something you wanted to say, Flo?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if it is it possible to have one-sided doors? So like doors that basically only go so if you have a room that with a door that goes in one way, and then you have an adjacent room that does not have a door on the same wall,
Yeah,
basically.
so it's right here. So there's a door here on weight room, but there's no matching door on floor, so it just gets boarded up.
Okay.
And if you open a door to another door, the door automatically opens, even if it would normally be locked. All right, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Metal detector is really strong in here. Also, we did just fill the directory's hallway section. The metal detector detects when there are nearby, like, statically spawned items. We're not going to have enough steps to get back to... We might, actually. Why did that just open? What? Oh. I'm confused. What just happened? Oh, they're all open! Because of Foyer. I did not know that this synergy actually worked.
Oh, we're getting stuff. We're getting items, but no steps.
Where's the... Oh. Right. I am not going to enter the next room. Alright. Guest bedroom it is. Does this give me... This will give me 10 more steps. When I enter it. I don't really care about that. About this, but I will pick it up anyway. And then... What is hanging in here? I don't know. Now I just need to hope that it did not work out. I was hoping that I would get a path through, but I do not have a pathway through here to get to security. Is there another... Do I have another security? I think I only drafted the one security, and that is the... Oh, wait! No, I did not draft shelter today, so no terminals. To use the upgrade disc, unfortunately. Alright, and down we go. See if we can knock off one more goal real quick. I don't think I have the steps for it. Nope. Just short. Alright, I just got 2 more steps. Or 2 more gems. Dang. Unfortunate. Alright, so that's the end of today. Garden Inn of the Dead. We did it. We did that goal. Alright, so now I'm really eyeing row 4. Because we have 1 star, and there is a room that we can draft that will just give us 2 more when we end the day, if we end the day in there, which is pretty easy. And then changing the color of a room requires the use of an upgrade disc. So we will need to try and get an upgrade disc here. Trying to force Architect's House is probably a really good play here also. So I will go see if that becomes an option for today. There is one specific outer room that is really, really good at doing that, which is the schoolhouse, which adds 8 additional copies of a drafting theme of drafting rooms into the house. We're going to take Shrine so that we can get the blessing that lets us rotate a room, which gives us the diagonal. The top right, bottom left diagonal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I spotted that, because I kind of forgot that diagonals exist for a second, for a hot minute.
Mood.
The other diagonal's kind of iffy. There's a chance that we can just stumble into that one. Chess power is extremely difficult. We are not set up for it at all. We need at least 3 more days, or at least 2 more days of game loop in order to execute it, or to have a chance to execute it. So chapel there. Room is fine. I am really now just like I am aggressively looking for some coins. And the office now. And also planetarium. Box next to this box is true. Both boxes. So this is false, which means this is false, which means this is true. You thought of bound the game to text it and sends a message. You've decided to fall it a day. That's hilarious. I love this game so much. This game is a love letter to all of the genres that it pulls from, and like it's also a love letter to like all of the games that came before it. Myst, like Rogue for the roguelite genre, stuff like that. Like there is so much care and love and thought put into this game that, like, I mean, I wish that it would be able to win Game of the Year, but unfortunately, this type of game just will pretty much never be able to win Game of the Year. It is my personal pick for Game of the Year 2025 so far, but...
Small indie game winning Game of the Year? Yeah.
To be fair, Balatro came pretty close. Or at least if any game was going to do it, it was going to be Balatro. This game just, like, so this game is really, really good. Like, I will never, like, try to sell that short. Its big problem is that the game loop tends to alienate a lot of the more mainstream gamer people because it can be incredibly frustrating casually to just kind of get stuck. But because especially like later in the game, do I want? Yes, I want.
Yeah, that's probably true, Val.
Like especially late in the game, you end up needing very specific combinations of rooms and stuff to get set up to solve some of the really, really late game puzzles that I'm not gonna spoil, obviously.
All right. But if we have the time, can I talk a bit about some stuff?
Absolutely.
I gotta make sure I do my hosting duties here as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you know that we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders? And I talked a lot about, or everyone has talked a lot about Doctors Without Borders today. And I also talked about that we have the Deep Rock Galactic difficulty increase incentive. But have you also heard that you can win some prizes if you donate? For example, if you donate a total of $6 or more during the marathon, you can get an amazing Bingothon mug in a summer design. And if you donate a total of $12 or more, you can get a Bingothon mug, neutral design, and a sticker on top of it. That's a very nice combo. Bingothon mug and sticker combo. Very nice for $12. And if you're feeling very generous, and you donate at least $100 or more until the end of the until the end of the event. Jeez, talking is hard. Then you can win a Sea of Stars sealed early backer edition and a vinyl on top of that, which is absolutely fantastic. Every collector is gonna love you and envy you for that. Well, every collector is gonna love it and envy you for that, pretty much. Yeah. So if you're feeling generous, please consider donating. It all goes towards a great cause that is Doctors Without Borders. And yeah, back to you, CJ.
So we have some slightly
Amazing.
some slight restrictions right now on. I mean, I'm just going to pay. Oh no, these floor plans can't be rotated. The game says no, you can't have that goal.
Dang.
How dare it?
Game says no.
It still says okay. I need to like arc inwards. I just need to 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. I'm just also also the pantry's gonna give us a fruit, so. Okay, well, that's the end of that.
Wow.
Thankfully, the blessings in this game last multiple days, so we'll just do it tomorrow. Or rotate the game, or rotate a room.
Thanks, game.
So we are now really. This is not the way I want it. I hope I did not just. I think we're okay. We are really. So what we're really pushing for right now is the office. The office has the potential to complete multiple lines. I'm also going to not immediately do the outer room here. We also now have 3 stars. So there is one big caveat with the change the color of a room goal, and it is that the first upgrade disc only has about a 50% chance of giving you a room that you can upgrade that will allow you to change the color. The odds get better for every room you get that doesn't do that, but I don't have them. So I'm looking for something very specific right now. I'm looking for dice because I want to draft Schoolhouse into the outer room if possible. Jeez, okay. 4 gems in a trunk is actually insane. We rotated a room.
Nice. Finally. Imagine the game actually letting you rotate it.
Alright, so that is our first bingo.
Hey, bingo.
That is the first of 3. At this point, the goal here now is pretty much just get some dice and an upgrade disc and go for Architect's House by drafting a bunch of schoolhouses. Actually, I don't know if drafting a bunch of schoolhouses or a bunch of schools or a bunch of classrooms works because it does stuff. Because it does other stuff. I will need to be careful about how I do that. I am going to take Secret Passage, but I'm going to be looking... I'm not going to use it yet. I'm going to be hoping that I get the opportunity to do something specific with it. I don't know what it is yet. But I actually don't know that there's anything super valuable that it can do right now. I am going to take... I don't know, like, there's not really much to this decision. Oh wow, it didn't even give me a fun shop option. But we got a free aquarium, which is nice. Take Nook here.
So
yeah, every classroom is a room with the drafting effect, but I believe that drafting for classrooms triggers a different, specifically triggers a different house title than Architect's House. Okay, library is good. Library also contributes to that problem. Because library counts too.
So out of the different options you have right now, what do you think is the most likely to give you another Bingothon?
The most likely is almost certainly getting Architect's House and an upgrade disc, and then any of the remaining floor plans that can be added. Well, I probably should have taken advantage of Blessing there to rotate rooms and solve that problem. We are running out of locations to draft classrooms at this point, even if we get that. So we are going... I am going to go just hedge my bets, and I'm going to try one more room out here. Also, I didn't pick up my allowance. I've yet to really pick up allowance at all or use it. And you know what? I'll check this too. Rumpus Room will give us an opportunity to try again, basically. Oh, lab. Now? Really? It's not helpful in this. Guest bedroom can have a... Oh, car keys. Alright, so this will give us our upgrade disc. So let's go check the outer room and see if we are lucky enough to grab Schoolhouse. If we are lucky enough to snag Schoolhouse from this, we are very likely very close to done. Because getting Architect's House and having that second line does a ton to free up. Brilliant. Alright, here we go. Just in case it comes to this, I am going to turn on this valve. I do not believe it will come to this. It would take a lot, but... Architect's House requires 4 drafting rooms, but I believe it cannot be 4 classrooms, is my guess. Technically, we did just add a new floor plan, the classroom, to our drafting, but it is not a permanent change, so it does not count in this case. There is a way to permanently add a 9th classroom to your drafting pool, which would count for that goal, but we need to get a very specific room in order to enable that. That said, getting that room would be actually incredible because it is a drafting-related room and would proc that for us, but... Alright, car keys, because you keep a floppy disk in your trunk, apparently. There's a joke in there somewhere, I think. I'm not going to take it any further than that. But we are going to... upgrade a room here and hope that it gives us a room that lets us change the color. And it does. Brilliant. This is also one of the best upgrades in Bingo is Courtyard, which is a combination of courtyard and corridor, because it becomes a hallway and is also always unlocked. So that is 2 bingos. We are now basically just playing for to draft a couple of classrooms here. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of RNG slightly here. We will rotate this to go up, and we did get it. We are at 3 drafting rooms, or okay, schoolhouse counts. I need to decide if I take the risk here and just call it a day, because I am pretty confident that this will not be a school-related title. I will just redraw, though, and take a second classroom just in case if it shows up. All right. Let's call it a day, and if the house title says Architect, we have triple bingo. Architect's Villa, that is time.
Alright, GG's. Yeah. So much for you're likely gonna go a little overestimated.
To be fair, this was one of the most insane bingo setups I have seen. I have come nowhere near completing this many lines in 5 days at all in practice.
So how about getting a quad bingo?
Do we have time? I can keep going.
We are still 20 minutes away from Aston.
Oh my god!
And we started ahead of schedule.
All right, we'll keep going. We can. Getting quad is actually relatively easy here. We'll keep going for sure. Because row 3 is ripe for the taking. Yes, this is an exceedingly rare, good bingo run.
What is with everything going so well today?
The bingo gods have smiled upon us. The tech gods have not.
No.
So, yeah. Alright. I'm basically just searching for a shovel or, I'm looking for a shovel, which nets us another room, or I am looking for magnifying glass, metal detector, and the workshop for a second time. That said, knowing this game, we are not going to see workshop again. Well, it gave me metal detector. I think the game might be trolling me. I did not check the outer room, which I should probably do at some point. I'm gonna go check it on my way back here. You know, honestly, I might just grab Root Cellar for this if Root Cellar shows up, because I seem to have really good luck when I draft Root Cellar. Grabbing that. I think the goal that I am the most shocked that I did not complete on this goal is, on this board, is 5 gems from safes total yet. And probably, hang on, I might actually have another goal. 5 bedrooms in a day. Yeah, we did that one. I just never clicked it.
Amazing.
Did I just ignore a tool shed for shovel? That was a stupid play, if so. I did not. I just saw root cellar and clicked it. I think it was shrine something else and root cellar.
You do know that you also have to stall until Pika is back, right?
Pika. Okay, there wasn't a tool shed. I feel a little bit. I'm not even gonna play the game. We will. This is hilarious because I want my package, but I also just want secret passage because I can just do green thumb and hope that I get one of the rooms that will typically give me shovel. I'm gonna take veranda to increase the odds, and of course it doesn't. Proc. Probably should have just taken courtyard, but I have a love-hate relationship with the metal detector. I kind of briefly talked about how it triggers on, like, normally spawned items. Okay, there we go. There's a shovel. So we will be getting quad bingo here shortly. I could probably force Cinco bingo here pretty easily, too.
Yeah,
because
but let's go for the Cinco.
5 gems from saves total is basically reads draft 2 more rooms that contain safes, of which there are a lot of options for that. And we have basically a major resource engine for this day. Wait, what is it? Beeping. Oh, there's a coin hidden. Root Cellar in Bingo is incredibly strong. Root Cellar increases the odds of spawning a room spawning with spots to dig in, and in Bingo, it is a really, really good way to get. I should have taken drafting room there. That was stupid. Drawing room. To get resources, because even without an upgraded form of the shovel, you know, you're gonna get coins, keys. There's turnips buried from time to time, which give you 5 or 6 steps. I believe it's 6. So. Wow, the game really just said stop. You are not allowed to proceed. Let's lower the security level. Give me 1 second. We're just gonna keep this as is. This pretty much means that we're probably not gonna see any more security doors the rest of the run, which is both a blessing and a curse. It's very blurst, as Reddit would say. Because less security doors, by definition, means more locked doors. But it is a lot easier to get regular keys, typically, than it is to get a key card. It would be wild if it was guaranteed to spawn with at least one. I need to go this way. I need to actually follow the routing on my house correctly. Not a normal sentence there, I don't think. Oh, hey, look, there's a turnip, speaking of them. Totally reasonable and normal sentence. I need to learn the layout of my house correctly. Turnips are also a great way to get a ton of steps in Bingo. There's a goal that revolves around like your total number of steps that you have. So there's that. Alright. This time I will be taking Drawing Room to grab a 5th gem, or a 4th gem from a save. Salted Turnip is still a goal, yes. I'm just gonna redraw in case so I can get a shot at Boudoir. Nope, okay, cool. Oh hey, if I draft a room here that connects to the security room, I will have bypassed one of 3 security doors while we're at it.
Amazing.
There's coins in here somewhere. I don't know where. I mean, I might as well. Where? I would love... Okay, I'm just ignoring it. I cannot be bothered. Oh, Boudoir. There we go. There's 5 gems from a safe. Or that will be 5 gems from a safe as soon as I actually unlock the safe. Fun fact, so all of the codes for the safes are actually dates, or like you have to figure them out as dates essentially. And the date for this one is Christmas, which is if you are American 12/25, but it is actually slightly faster to enter the date in European or in like the other date format because you do not have to wait for the key press to like the key to unpress the 2 because you have to put it in twice in a row. 2512 is faster to input than 1225.
See, I always knew that the European version of writing dates was superior.
So, in this case, it is in fact superior. Let's go get our third floor plan as I run through the forest.
Probably stop once we got the single bingo.
So right now?
Yeah. All right.
Alright, so that is Cinco Bingo, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And a kind of insane board, or insane run. I'm pretty sure that this run would have tripled any board in 130. I do not think that there is a possible board configuration that this one is not good at, which is crazy in its own right. So, this was also just a particularly good board. I did re-roll the original board I had because I did not like it and I was a little concerned about it. I almost wish I hadn't now because who knows. But yeah, so that was Blueprints Bingo. If you are interested in Blueprints Bingo, it is available on Play Bingo. There is also another variant of it available, hosted on GitHub, because it's separate, that plays off of the 9x5 grid of the game, essentially. And you have to draft a path to the antechamber, basically, to win. Like, clear goals and a path to the antechamber, which is that mode a lot of people have been having fun with. You can find out more details in the Blueprints Discord for that. There's some dedicated bingo channels there. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to show it off. I'm glad it went well after all the worrying and fretting I did about it. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/cjs0789, because I will not be on... Actually, I will have a run later in the marathon, so there's that. So, glad I got to show it off. And thanks Flaw for, heckling me during hosting. Always great fun with you.
That's what I'm here for.
And there will be more of Flaw and I's banter later in the marathons for Mario Kart World, so be sure to be there. And keep on donating. And I'll hand it back to you, Flo.
Yeah, coming up next, in case you didn't have enough of me yet, is the Genshin Impact co-op blackout with Javoxip, Cathraxis, and myself. So if that's what you wanna, if you're interested in that, don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
not sure that words can always save lives, but we know that silence can certainly kill. Humanitarian action is to help people in situations of crisis. Our daily work is a struggle, and it is intensely medical, and it's intensely personal. It aims to build spaces of normalcy in the midst of what is profoundly abnormal. Our action and our voice is an act of indignation, a refusal to accept an active or passive assault on the other. Let me say this very clearly. The humanitarian act is the most apolitical of all acts. But if its actions and its morality are taken seriously, it has the most profound of political implications. We act not in a vacuum, and we speak not simply into the wind, but with a clear intent to assist, to provoke change, or to reveal injustice. The act of humanitarianism comes down to one thing: individual human beings reaching out to those others who find themselves in the most difficult of circumstances. They reach out one bandage at a time, one suture at a time, one vaccination at a time. Humanitarian responsibility has no frontiers.
Is that just what we started saying now?
Hello.
Hi.
How do you guys feel?
Have you heard of Among Us?
Bruh! Make
That's
him genius.
amazing! Rexy clearing the entire board!
Hello everybody in the Bingothon world. This is Pika, your new host for the next few hours. I hope you all are well. We're just currently setting up for our next run, that is Genshin Impact Co-op Blackout Bingo. So I think they're still going at the moment, but they should be ready soon enough. In case you're someone who might have just come in and are not aware, Bingothon Summer 2025 is benefiting Doctors Without Borders, and you can find the links to donate below the stream or by typing !donate in the chat. Doctors Without Borders is an amazing cause to donate for, and it's amazing that we've already reached $774. And as such, I really want to thank everyone who's contributed to the event as a whole. And so, in case you might not be too familiar with Doctors Without Borders, so Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization providing life-saving medical humanitarian care in over 70 countries around the world. And so, just hearing that 70 countries is really amazing. You really realize just how important their work is. And there's lots of other factors as well. Because, for example, I mentioned that they are doing work over 70 countries, but all the meanwhile, over 80% of Médecins Sans Frontières staff are locally hired, meaning they are from the same community that they work in. So it is a very global organization, but at the same time also extremely local. Because of the fact that they hire locally, which is also a really key part of their humanitarian work. So it's really an amazing organization to donate for. And yeah, so if you're interested, even a small donation can really help, even just a small one. So any donation is appreciated. But yeah, all right. I'm just hearing that there's some well, you know, it's Bingothon. Why would Bingothon be without technical difficulties? There are some setup difficulties going on with Genshin Impact, but it's all a work in progress, so that's not an issue at all. I'm sure it will come in just a moment. So. If you want to use your donations for adding even more fun to the marathon as well, we do have more incentives coming up during the next couple days of the marathon. And at the moment, the next one that we've got is a difficulty increase for Deep Rock Galactic, sitting at $75 needed. No donation has been spent on that yet, but you've got up until tomorrow to get to the $75, so let's hope we can reach it, because I like the sound of difficulty increase, so that'll be really fun. And if you think that you see just one incentive, you're thinking, oh, is that it? Then don't be mistaken, because beyond that, there will be even more incentives coming your way, which will be unlocked as we make progress through the marathon. So you definitely want to make sure to keep an eye on the incentives page, which you can access by typing !incentives or !bids in chat, and in which case you will be able to see what is currently open. So hopefully you'll be able to find something that takes your fancy. Speaking of that, do remember that we also do have a few prizes as well. So, for example, we've got the only Bingothon mug. We've got the summer edition of the Bingothon mug, which I believe you can see on stream right now, which is the just a mug with the Bingothon summer logo, but it's a classic. You can get it. You can potentially get it if you donate a minimum amount of $6. But beyond that, we also have another prize, which is a Bingothon mug and sticker combo with a neutral design. You might see the rotation of it eventually at one point if you keep watching. That one is for a minimum amount of $12. And so that one is it's a 2-in-1, getting both a mug and a nicer Bingothon sticker. So that can always be a very nice one to have. And finally, our big final prize for this event is a Sea of Stars sealed early backer edition plus vinyl for that game, Sea of Stars. It is provided by Angry Demon Noises, who's going to be running Sea of Stars later this marathon. This one is pretty big, as I said. It's going to be $100 minimum donation to be eligible for it. But it is, as I said, a sealed early backer edition. So it's not exactly something that you can just get easily around. It's quite an exclusive prize. So it's really exciting. And so there's really a lot that you can do with the donation in the end, whether it be potentially getting the prize, contributing towards fun incentives, or even just having the satisfaction of donating towards an amazing cause. Yeah. In any case, I'll be sure to let you know if we hear more from tech side about the run, but I'm sure that they will be ready in a moment. So with that said, thank you for your patience, and we'll be right back in a bit. Good news all! I just got the word that the run is indeed ready to get started, so hold on to your seats because we're just about to get started with Genshin Impact Co-op Blackout Bingo. So get ready everyone, we'll start. See you soon. Alright.